phone, a megaphone, attendance tracking.
And what else?
And it has everybody's name.
And they have me as an attendee, right?
Well, we can hear you now on the whatchamacallit.
You got a host.
On your cell, right?
No, I can hear you on the computer.
Because you're muting me.
Okay, well, I'm clicking names. Is everybody unmuted?
So we good? You hear me?
I hear you.
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, Marty, can you hear us?
I don't know about Marty. I clicked Marty. He's waving.
Yeah, Trina's waving.
Okay. So that means
We have already a quorum. Let's start. Let's start.
Okay, let's go.
People will fall by the wayside.
Yeah, we're here. We're behind. Sonia, I hope I don't lose you again because I dropped you.
Julia, I think you have the host
hear me?
control. Can you release them back to me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, Sonia, I hear you.
Okay.
What did you say?
I believe you have the host control. You have to turn them back to me.
How do I do that? I don't like this thing.
You go to
Okay,
the top,
next
take
time
a
we'll
scroll
use
back.
next time we'll use an in-person meeting, but now let's go. Let's go.
Marie, I don't know how to send it back to you. I have no idea.
Go ahead with the meeting. Do roll call. Who's here?
Steve's here. Rabbi's here. Sonia's here.
Mhm.
Jan is here.
Jan is here.
Marty.
Marty's here. Somebody else was here. I can't see.
Well, there's two, Trina's here. She's Richard Sarah and Sarah Lilly.
All right, we're here to, I don't even know why we're here anymore. Anybody know why we're here? I can't anymore. We're
Your
here.
eye-
Trina,
your eye-
Sonia?
Yes, you hear me?
Okay, all right, because you went off my phone. Okay,
Sorry.
not a problem. We can hear you.
I'm off the phone.
No, you're good. We can hear you on the computer thing.
Yes, because I got off the phone.
Can we have a moment of silence, please? Because I'm confused.
Okay.
Remembrance of George Floyd. And all those that have fallen victim. Okay, hi, everybody.
Hi, Julia. Hi, everybody.
Okay.
Hi.
Reason for our meeting is changes to our bylaws in regards to the election. Proceed. Oh, Rabbi, where'd you go?
No, I'm here. You don't have to see that I drink coffee, okay?
Drinking coffee.
You want to see, okay? Be my guest.
Yes, I'll watch. Any
Believe you that that's coffee.
to the effect of having our chair. All right, I have to mute my phone and my watch. Is to have our chairs and our executive board continue on for another year.
Mm-hmm.
Due to the pandemic, and we're not able to vote, and these procedures need to be changed in these bylaws due to the fact that everything is remote. And I don't know how that's gonna work because this can't work.
It's working. It's working.
I can't see two people. Shoo. Jan, where are you?
I'm right here.
Do you have what you've written down? Because I can't find mine. And if I turn on my computer, we get buzzing.
What did she say?
Just technical. She's talking now technical stuff.
Okay, go
But-
on.
Go on.
Jan, do you happen to have the information you sent to Madam Chair in regards to what we'd like to have changed? You have it in front of you because my computer on, we're going to get a lot of noise.
But I have to look for it if I You have it right there, don't you?
No, I don't.
Marie's there. She has it. Anyway, let me look for it. I went to CB1. I have to find it in my email. It went to all of
If I turn my computer on, we get buzzing. We get too much back feed. So I can't turn on my other hand thing. I know I saved it, but I can't turn this on without getting a lot of echoing, a lot of interference.
Yeah.
Actually, if you
Well,
have.
if you want, I have it on my screen. If I can share my screen, then
Eric?
No, Steve. Can you read that? Can you read that, Steve?
Read it if you can.
okay. Sorry, hold it. All right. All right, here we go. This is section C, elections. Proposed change number 1. Proposed changes are additions that are in bold and underlined. The election will be held at the regular meeting of the board in June, and the proposed text is with the exception of June 2020, where the elections would not be held but postponed until June 2021.
Yeah.
This modification is because of the impacts experienced by the COVID-19 pandemic. The implementation of NYC, NYS, and US guidelines requiring communities to pause and sheltering in place mandates the elections for both the executive committee and the attendance committee are postponed in 2020 to enable experienced leadership be retained to move CB1 in the many months ahead. And then there are 4 other ones.
Okay, well, let's start with that one. Yeah, I would like to move for us to do that simply because in order to hold elections, it would really be, to me, this is me, maybe very impossible because we were supposed to do a nominating thing in May. We should have had the elections this month, which the meeting is next week. And we really, truly don't have the time to do it. I'm only going to speak for myself when it comes to the months of July and August. Although we're in a pandemic, I have plans. July and August, I'm Nell. So, meetings in July and August would be Nell for me. I would be counted absent. So we need to work on this and move on this like today.
Yes.
Can I move to approve?
Well, no, could we still have a discussion on the,
Okay.
because we can't talk about this one without talking about the other amendment that was proposed. So
Well, I think we take them one at a time. I mean, I don't want to overwhelm everybody with all the amendments. So I thought we'd take.
There's only 2, essentially. I mean, there's.
Okay, go ahead and do 2, Steve.
Yeah. Well, I was just saying, if we did not recommend this approval to postpone the elections, there is an alternative, which is to allow virtual elections.
Hey, Jay.
We haven't changed the bylaws to allow virtual elections.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, we're gonna either change the bylaws to postpone the elections, or we're gonna change we could potentially change the bylaws to have virtual elections. And either way, whatever the recommendation is, it has to be it'll be approved or not through a virtual board meeting.
Well, no, you need to have an executive board to carry on with your business too. You need to actually officially have your executive board in place, and they are already in place. So we may need to move that, as the bylaw committee, to say, let them stay in place until we can resume and get our business in order.
Right, but
What am I missing here?
the alternative proposal does the same thing. It's month to month until the elections are held.
Yes.
So theoretically, it could be the same timeline of postponement as it would be to elections. And the other thing is, with
You broke up.
it gives you the flexibility. We don't know what life is going to be like in a year. we'll be able to meet. And then there's also, if other major situations like like a hurricane or a power failure or something, and we're not able to meet when we're supposed to have nominations or elections, having this alternative, having this text gives the board the flexibility to adjust to those events.
It also, go ahead, sorry. Was somebody else speaking? It also gives you the ability to have your board in place, so you wouldn't have to keep doing all these flexibilities and then having to go back to all these votings, then having to try to set up all these meetings, and you can't really function because you don't have an executive board in place, at least for a year, to continue on with what you need to continue on with.
And there's no stability if we will have to extend month by month. There's no stability, and it will be dysfunctional body.
Exactly.
And many important issues have to be dealt in a timely basis.
Exactly, Rabbi. That's what I'm trying to relay. My presentation is worse than anybody's.
No, it's very good. I say it in Yiddish. That's why people understand that.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be extended indefinitely. It's just.
Speaking, Chesla, hold on.
Oh, sorry.
1 second. Jan said she agrees. Next.
With what?
Let's hear her say it. Let's hear her say it.
To say something.
They got Marie's got to help Marty.
Maurice has got to help Marty. This is what Jan is saying.
Now, imagine us trying to do this month by month, Chesla, with having an executive board not in place.
Why is the executive board not in place? They're still in place.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying is to have a vote, and we have to meet month by month to put all this in order. We can't even get this darn thing to work right.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
It would just be, we could do the nominations and the vote in.
Nominations were supposed to take place in May. We're already behind.
Right. So basically say we do the nominations.
That
the
was
vote.
the letter we got. Did you read the letter we received?
From the borough president?
That we were basically out of compliance?
Yes.
Yeah, basically said you should hold your elections to your
According to
board
the Bible.
timeline, and using audiovisual means is fine to do it. But if you have a paper ballot requirement, then you need to update your bylaws.
Exactly.
Right.
But you could also extend it.
We're trying to extend our executive board on for the year so we would be able to do this properly. So that when we do have the electronic stuff in place, we'd be able to properly have our bylaws changed, our executive board election correctly. Everyone that wants to vote would be able to be in on whatever this thing is, because I can't see or barely hear anybody. Everything would be in place. For us to try to change it to say we're going to do it this way now, to me personally, makes no sense.
I agree.
Makes no sense. That's me. I can't
Agree.
speak for anybody else. Because this web thing, as you can see, is not properly working. It's not properly working. And for us to go month to month to deal with this pandemic, we got people on the phone, people over here. It's not going to work. We need the executive board to be in place. We need to be able to change our bylaws correctly to have the remote thing in place into the bylaws. Without that, just do a nomination in the month of June. The month of June should have been the election. So we are already behind. And that's what his letter is stating, to do it in a timely manner, considering your bylaws. Our bylaws state we were supposed to have our nomination committee in May. The election should have took place this month. Our meeting is next week. We're behind. We need to keep our executive board in place for the time being while we're in the midst of this pandemic. And this is Julia Foster speaking. I'm not speaking for anybody else. And then have all these bylaws changed.
And let me just say one other thing, if I may, David Niederman, I'm sorry. Let me just say, we really don't know if, God forbid, I hope it never happens, that it comes back in the fall. You know, we have no idea what's going to happen. Let us have a stable situation for another year. Nothing is going to happen. You have a system that has been working for years. Let's have it for another year. And within that time, we know that we will be able to conduct elections in a proper fashion. And in the meantime, the operations that is so much needed should not be affected.
Right.
And Rabbi,
Yes,
Rabbi, I agree with you because they are saying it's going to come back.
that's
Not maybe. They're saying
It's going to come back in a second wave.
Yeah.
ready this time, and we do have to work. We can't go playing around.
yes.
And we have to work with our local institutions to do that, you know, and we have to have our meetings so we can plan how we're going to work differently in light of these two crises going on. We can't ignore the crisis of the coronavirus, and we can't ignore the crisis in our psychiatric. And we have to pay attention and not be irrelevant.
Can't hear
Otherwise,
you.
it'll just be irrelevant.
Yes.
Basically, you couldn't hear us, Steve?
It was all kind of
Yeah, kind of.
gooey and muddly or whatever, you know?
She basically agrees with what Rabbi and myself were saying is we need to have a stable executive board because this pandemic is going to come back and it's going to come back strong in part 2. And we need to be stable. We don't need to be on shaky ground right about now. I'm putting it in layman's terms. So
I just want to note that some of the other attendees are making comments in the Q&A section.
I can't see him.
You click, there's kind of a bubble icon at the bottom of the screen.
Really?
It's in the middle, blue, it's blue. You hover over it, it says open chat. Maybe it's
There's
black, because
I don't see anybody in there. It says chat.
if you hover over your screen,
So can I ask a question, please?
hold on, there's a bunch of icons.
You see, this is what I'm saying with this thing, and then we want to try to change.
Yeah, well, you know, we got to learn it, and we got to adapt, you know,
Yeah, and that's why we need to keep with what we got and do what we got to do, because this is not working. I see nothing anybody's saying.
oh yeah, it's in the Q&A. It's in the-
I'm in chat. I don't see anything.
Yeah, on the right in the panel is a Q&A panel. That's where it is.
Okay, and now I see that. So I see one person is Sarah, a member of the committee. I'm just asking.
She's a community member,
She's not a member. She's not on the committee.
She's not on our committee.
but she's in the meeting and,
Yeah, I'm not saying that ignore that.
right?
I'm not saying to ignore that, but I'm saying I just wanted to say. I mean,
I hope you won't vote on this one until what?
Steve, you're typing.
No, that's not me.
I'm trying to see
Trina-
what Sarah's saying. She
Trina's
says, I hope
asking-
you won't vote, and that's all I see.
Trina.
Who?
Trina submitted the other amendment proposal for having virtual elections and extending
Can't see nothing.
officer seats until the elections occur.
We can't have a virtual election until we change our bylaws.
I don't know if that's true.
On the state,
There's nothing in our bylaws that prevents virtual meetings.
it's not in our bylaws. Bylaws have not been changed. They have to be changed, and they're not gonna be changed in one meeting. You cannot take a virtual vote. It's not in your bylaws.
Can I be blunt by any chance?
Yes?
Is that permissible?
Not in the bylaws.
Is what permissible?
For me to be blunt.
Sure.
I don't know. I think we have to make an amendment.
Okay, do we have a problem, current executive board as it is composed? I mean, what I'm trying to say, I'm not asking for an answer, and people should say, but we have a functioning body that has been functioning for so long, and therefore, what I'm saying is, I see that Sarah is saying, let's wait to September. According to what many people, CDC and others are saying, that this thing might come back very strong. And why should we not extend it for a year? In the meantime, we can, when it's permissible to, we can do something. We'll do something, but we know that for another year, this committee, the executive committee that has been running the board for a few years now, okay, can function. I don't see what. Yes.
Well, that could go on indefinitely, and I feel like it's.
No, not indefinitely. But I'm saying is.
I'm getting feedback again.
Okay, and Jan is saying that they were elected unanimously.
What does that have to do with anything? I feel like we're denying, a fundamental process of the board of having elections. And again, the borough president recommending the suggestion is that we have the elections, according.
His recommendations was according to our bylaws.
Well, we're gonna have to update the bylaws anyhow.
Steve.
We go to the year-long extension. We're gonna have to update the bylaws. So.
And that's what it's going to take. It's going to take a minute to really be like uploading the bylaws for about a year. So we need to have an executive people already in place and not, be all over the place. Let's just
be all over the place.
Stick with stability.
I don't know. I don't buy that. It would create instability. I don't. It's just.
And it will be instability.
For God's sake, people, come on. Everything's always such an issue. No matter what we go through, we're still racking our brains. Nobody wants to come to consensus. Everything has to be a damn issue.
So let me ask you a question. Maybe you said, Steve, you said what you said, and let's go for a vote.
Let's vote. Let's vote. That's it. Vote.
Let's vote on it. I don't see
the motion.
I presented a motion for a vote to extend that till next year.
Well, no, we have to vote on each change to the bylaws.
So let's go to this one first, okay?
We're doing one at a time, Steve.
Yes.
We're going to go into the next ones too.
Yes.
We'll have to, vote also on changing the other steps also. That's also included. Like I stated, executive board has to be secure. They have to be secured. And
let's go for a vote.
Why do they have to be secured? What does that mean? Secure. I mean,
Steve, you're 100. I think Sonia said before. Yes. Why do we have? What is it wrong that we take that chance and let's go vote? We can have descending votes, and let's take it to a vote to the committee, and then we'll move on to the next one. The discussions we had. You say you agree, so your vote is to what?
Well, let me say after this, should we read the other amendment as well fully before we vote on the first one?
We're going to do that. We're going to do that, Steve. But
Okay.
I think it's very important that we handle this one first and move on to the next ones.
No.
And
Okay.
somebody wants to move on to the next one?
1 second, you didn't hear yet. So let's hear the vote. So Sonia said yes to this one. You said
Wait a second. Hold on. Like I said,
Who made the motion?
what about Marty? Does Marty have, Marty Needleman's on this floor? We're like, what his opinion on this?
Needleman made the motion.
Oh, he made the motion.
Yes, I second it.
Wait a second. What do you mean?
He made the motion, Rabbi Needleman.
Needleman, but he's saying Marty Needleman.
How about Marty Needleman? What is his opinion?
He's muted. Marty, you're muted. Can you get off mute?
Anybody hear him?
No, he's still muted.
Why is he muted?
Yeah.
Well, can he call someone and they,
He can call my phone and FaceTime me.
somebody's typing.
What's that noise?
He's typing. Marty? I'm clicking the microphone. He's still muted.
Let him call you.
Yeah, he could call my cell phone and FaceTime me. Somebody want to give him that number? Who can hear him?
I don't hear him. Let me try and call him. Well, he's on except he's on his phone, so we won't be able to call.
Hey. Can you see him? Anybody?
No.
Marie?
Is Marie on?
I don't see him.
I don't see it.
He's on the list.
You have the controls, Julia. I don't.
And I don't know how to control it. I'm clicking the speaker.
He just got off, so maybe he's going to try and call.
Okay. I clicked the speaker and it didn't let him come in.
He has to unmute himself, I believe.
Yeah.
Is he coming back? I hope so. Can somebody call him?
See if I have his.
I have to get off my phone.
No, don't get off.
Don't get off.
Don't get off. Nobody should get off unless somebody has a separate phone.
I do. Give me his phone number.
He has a cell phone, Marie has it.
Who has the cell number?
Steve?
I'm going to check and see if I have it.
He don't.
917
Probably does too.
Okay, 917
952
952.
6450.
Oh, Marie's calling him.
Yep.
Should I call him? All right, let me give you the phone number, okay?
You gonna give it to me?
Oh, close to that's what you did it.
I got so much feedback.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
917
917
952
952
6450.
6450.
I filled out 3 forms now.
Julie, hear me?
Marty, you have an iPhone?
Yes.
Can you FaceTime me? Press the FaceTime button. Where you at? Hi, Marty.
Private questions, where he is.
I got Marty. Okay, Marty, they want to know what your opinion is and what we were discussing.
I think we should not put it off for a year. I think we should put it off just meeting to a month or 2 months, and then do it then. We can keep on putting it off. It doesn't matter. The existing executive committee remains in effect, replaced. So we don't have to have a definite date. We can
I'm back. No.
actually do it.
He's saying the executive board can be put off indefinitely. You know, I want to make sure I'm saying that right. Am I saying that right?
No, it remains. They remain as the executive committee until they're replaced.
That
That's to replace them.
Yeah.
The people are installed.
Right.
So we can do it, we don't have to do it a year from now. We can do it
Taking money off of WebEx.
Yeah.
So he's saying we can do it a year from now. We can do it whenever we want.
Yes, we can do it less, we can do it sooner.
We can do it sooner. We can,
As soon as we're ready, we're back in operation.
whenever we're back in full operation is what we're basically saying. We don't know when that's going to be.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I think technically that's incorrect. The bylaws say the terms end on June 30th.
Yeah, the bylaws say the terms end June 30th, but we can extend it.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And we missed the
So let's
the
go.
window for nominations, which was last month, and election should be.
We did that. I don't think we have to go back.
We haven't changed the bylaws.
Let's take a vote. Oh, can you tell us?
Exactly.
Let's take a vote.
Rabbi Needleman wants to take a vote. He wants to do Rabbi.
Never get finished on this.
Oh, I can't hear you, Jan.
Jan, speak up.
Okay, I need
To make a motion.
Rabbi Needleman, let's vote. We're wasting time.
I vote for the motion.
Who made the motion?
I second this.
You second
What's
us.
the motion for?
Repeat the motion, Jan, because we didn't hear you.
The motion is to extend the executive board
No.
for a year.
We're voting on this amended text. There's 5 text amendments.
Yeah, and we said that we're going to go one by one.
Extension of the board. Keep up.
The first one is the extension of the executive board for another year until June 30th next year.
It's the text that I read.
Yes.
It's amending section C, part 2.
Announcing coronavirus and other issues in
Can
the.
you hear them, Marty?
Yes, but have we complied with the requirements of a bylaw amendment that is adequate notice and notices
I can't hear whoever's speaking.
I don't hear either. He's speaking.
Yeah.
I believe so.
line letters provided by the bylaws?
Yes.
Marty?
Marty, yeah.
Doesn't friendly, but I have a feeling it's more complicated than that.
Fletcher Bus.
It's gotta go to a committee, the committee's gotta make recommendations to the board, executive committee, the board executive committee has to.
We did that.
Board executive committee voted on it,
Yeah, it went to the chair and she sent it to the
Yeah.
House Committee, so it's ready to go.
it's gotta be the executive committee, not the chair.
Well, I mean, the executive.
That's not right.
It went to them before it came to us.
And that's supposed to go back to them after it comes to us.
Right. So we're trying to do that now, so we can make sure it goes back to them on what the decisions and decisions were. And I think, Tressler, you might have misunderstood. We were stating we were going to take them one at a time. We weren't going to vote on all of them as a whole.
Jan, what's your question?
Anybody opposed to this resolution?
Can you hear them?
Jan is asking Julie if anybody opposes to this resolution. So that means you're asking for a vote, is that correct?
Well, it's the same thing. I just want to know if we have a problem or not.
Yeah, I have a problem with it. So
Steve has a problem.
Steve,
I prefer having virtual elections as soon as possible. You know,
But I think that requires a bylaw amendment, right?
either one requires a bylaw amendment because we have a paper ballot requirement and we already breached the May nomination.
Bylaws as of yet.
Yeah. So,
Notices and do it prior.
Exactly.
I just was trying to.
Oh, my goodness, excuse me. Just can't they do it month to month? Right about now, I lost my son-in-law. I lost his father. I'm not dealing with this nonsense with you guys. We can do a month to month and extend it and stop being so damn silly. Let's make a resolution for God's sake.
it's not silly. It's important.
Really, because if we do a month to month
It is very important,
There's
and we
nothing
have
wrong.
basically
with having a month-to-month. We're gonna have the election. But
Well,
we're in the
we
middle
have-
of a pandemic. We're in the middle of all kinds of nonsense.
Right.
We've got to at least try to say, you know what? If we're going to do it in September, we're doing it in September. If we're going to do a month-to-month, the way Marty says, let's just do it. It's going to go on an hour that we're debating the same thing. Let's get it together, people.
Well, Jan had made a motion that we would continue on with the executive board the way it was. And we still would have to vote on the other issues.
Fine.
We can't, we have no basis to vote on that. We're voting on bylaw amendments. There's no text to state that generally. We have to go through each proposed amendment that Jan put through. I mean, that's, you know.
I agree. Let's go to it. Let's go to the first one. Let's vote on it. Let's go to the second one and vote on it. Let's just vote.
Well, wasn't the first one the executive board? Dan?
The first one is the one I read to you. The first one is, I'll read it again. It's related to elections. And it's, the election will be held at the regular meeting of the board in June. And then the amended text that's added on proposed is with the exception of June 2020, where the elections would not be held but postponed until June 2021. This modification is because of the impacts experienced by the COVID-19 pandemic, implementation of NYC, NYS, and US guidelines requiring communities to pause and sheltering in place mandates. Elections both for the executive committee and the attendance committee are postponed in 2020 to enable the experienced leadership to be retained to move CB1 in the many months ahead.
So that's the motion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jan, do you?
Motion that she made.
So are we voting on this?
Yes.
Okay.
Vote.
This is a proposed bylaw amendment, right?
Yeah.
So if we approve it, what happens then?
Well, when I'm reading from the bylaws, it says the terms of all elected officers of the board meeting shall commence on July 1st. Now, you can have a special election in the event of the term vacancy. And what I'm listening to you is we don't have a vacancy.
Well, yes, would it be helpful to read all five so you have the context for the first one?
According to the bylaws, section C elections number 10, it states special elections in the event of a term vacancy. So according to what you're stating, Marty, is we still don't have a vacancy. The board is still in full effect.
Well, there's a question because if their term expired,
It expires the end of the month.
there is a vacancy because those terms expired.
And now let's go back to the fact that we didn't have a nominations in May. And the mayor, now the borough president wants us to do business in accordance to our bylaws. We have not had any nominations in May, which meant the elections would have been this month. And
We are starting again?
yeah, we're starting again. And we need to have a board in full effect in order to carry on with business. And that's what we're trying to relay to Steve. He's stating no.
No, I'm not saying there shouldn't be an executive committee. I'm saying we should have elections. Whoever is elected will carry on.
We can't have an election in June. We don't have a nomination committee. We didn't put none of that together. We need to keep these people in office until we get ourselves together with this web thing.
Right. That's where that's where
Julie,
the
I love
amendment.
debate. I love debate, but debate also has a limit. And there's a motion that has been advanced by Jan, has been seconded. Let's move on that.
No, but it needs to be understood what we're voting on. And also, I think, the alternative proposal needs to be considered in relation to that, because that amendment, it addresses the nomination, the missed nomination date, and voting in the election. It just allows to do both virtually, and if necessary, extend the officer terms, on a month-to-month basis. But if we act now, it would just, technically, we wouldn't even have to extend if we do the nominations and the voting this month. And if we didn't, we potentially extend maybe 1 month and then it's done until next year. And then
I'm not in
then-
agreement with doing a month to month. I truly am not. It's just going to take too much time of this executive board when we're only supposed to meet exactly 4 months. And like I said, in July and August, I'm out.
Yeah, but in September, we still might have to have physical distancing rules that we adhere. We might not be able to meet them.
More than likely.
Yeah.
And that's why the three of us are still stating we have an executive board in place. Right, Marty?
Yep.
Yes.
We need to keep them in place until this pandemic is over and stop jumping around. Sonia?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
So we stop jumping around from people to people and we just have what we have and use what we got until this pandemic is over and we can actually come together as a whole and get this thing in proper perspective. With if we need to have a new executive board, we will be in place, totally in place to vote correctly and have our bylaws changed correctly and everything will be done correctly. All I'm stating is this. Let's keep them in place until the year because that's what it's going to take. This month to month is not going to work.
So Jan, you say that should be a year. Sonia says a year. I say a year. Jan said before, but say it again. Jan?
A year.
A year. So let's go. Who else is on the board on this committee? And let's close. Let's move to the other amendment.
I will be opposed.
But wait, we have to go through the 5 amendment. There are 5 changes.
But on this one, let's go. We
One at a time, Chesla.
one,
All right, so you heard the first one. You want to read it?
and that's it, and we voted on it.
We did not vote on it. Do you have official vote?
Yes, we had an official vote. Julie, you are the chair.
Can't
Julie?
talk about the conference.
I heard 2 motions and the motion was that they stay in place for 1 year.
And,
That's
okay,
not being considered. The motion is for all these 5.
Well, asking what was the motion? I'm giving you the motion. Jan seconded that motion.
yes.
Okay? Listen to me, your motion. I myself agree with it, and so does Sonia. You
So do I.
You oppose and Marty oppose. So
As a point of order.
as a point of order, Marty opposes.
No, but as a point of order, it basically we're talking about doing a bylaw amendment, not doing a bylaw amendment. That's putting off for a year is essentially requires a bylaw amendment.
Exactly.
Just putting it off temporarily until we can actually.
That requires a vote too.
That's a vote, but that's not a bylaw amendment. That's just not doing it.
Yes, it is. We have to do a bylaw amendment change for either one.
No, we don't need it because
No,
if we don't,
We have a ballot requirement, so we have to change that.
we don't. That has to be changed.
then nothing happens until they remain in effect until we do vote.
So then what you're saying is they remain in effect until we do vote is then they just stay in there for the year. You got 4 people stating they don't want,
No, we shouldn't approve it for a year. We should approve it temporarily until we do have.
well, for the year would be temporarily.
Yeah, but we say we have to vote on the bylaws. What we just voted on is not in the bylaws. It's just it's just an idea. Saying the amendment is what Jan submitted, and that's what we have to vote on.
Okay, so I thought what Jan was submitting was the simple fact that we were going to vote on the fact of keeping the executive board in for a whole year. Like I said, I don't have it in front of me.
Yeah, well, that's the summary, but we have to vote on each change to the bylaws, the physical change that's proposed.
I'm writing on stuff I shouldn't be writing on.
Casper, you want to go outside?
I'm sitting with my opinion about being on a year, so you could give me your second one if you want. Anyone wants to hear? We're gonna hear the rest of these changes. Because this
Why don't we do one at a time? What's the first one again? Why don't we go to that?
What was that?
Marty said we're doing one at a time. Okay.
So let's do it and let's move.
All right, so
Repeat the first one and let's vote on it.
We were trying going to do? He said that has nothing to do with it.
So Julie, as the chair, can you move the agenda, please?
I want to move the agenda to the second readings.
All right.
Vote on the first one, but Steve's saying we have to go on through the rest of them before we can vote. I don't agree, but I'm gonna let you go ahead on to the second.
Yeah, there are 5 changes. There are 5 proposed changes. So
Move. Let's go.
number 2.
Saying that's gonna take too much time. We're gonna have to vote on all of them at one time. We were trying to vote individually to be sure and be clear.
The text is not that long.
Hey,
Are you ready? Number 2.
I wish I had it in front of me. I can't turn on my thing because it gives feedback.
Okay. Well, let me just read it. It won't take that long. This is Section C elections, Part 3. Time should be set aside at the June meeting, and the new text is with the exception of June 2020. And then going back to the existing text, prior to the election for candidates who choose to address the board, remarks should be limited to 5 minutes. Any interested candidate should contact the Elections Committee in writing at least 20 days prior to the June board meeting to inform them of the candidate's intention to address the board. So it's just that exception text. The time should be set aside at the June meeting with the exception
He doesn't go in there.
2020. What was that?
What section was that?
This is C3.
It's not charging.
What, the calendar date?
It's section C, which is titled Elections, and then item 3.
Okay, see, item 3. Time should be set aside at the June meeting prior to the election, but we're not having elections because we didn't have nominations. We're going back in circles, Steve.
No, and I'm saying then the proposed text change is with the exception of June 2020.
Okay.
What about the exception of June 2020?
That's the change that is proposed.
Okay, yeah, I see it.
There should be time set aside at the June meeting prior to the election for candidates who choose to address the board, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah,
Any interest candidate should contact the election committee in writing at least 20 days prior to the June board meeting to inform them of the candidate's intention to address the board.
right.
That's what
So,
you're talking about?
yeah. And so what Jan is proposed is in the first sentence, at the beginning, it said, where it says aside at the June meeting, we're proposing with the exception of 2020. That's the proposed change.
Okay.
So in other words, in this month of June 2020, aside until later in the year. Is that what you're saying, Jan? Is she there?
Yes.
I can't hear, so David, tell me what they're saying.
Julie,
Stating that we should set it
Jan?
aside for the exception except for June 2020. So what you're stating is that we shouldn't have the elections in this month of June?
okay. That's the second one. Next.
Is that what you're saying?
Vote on it.
Yes, that's fine.
I think the proposed amendment that Jan has proposed is just essentially to put everything off for a year.
Exactly, and that's what we keep coming back to.
Next.
Off for a year.
Exactly.
Please, Julie, next.
Next, Steve.
We didn't vote on the one we just read.
So if we vote on the first one, which puts it off for a year, everything else follows.
Exactly. Somebody make a motion, please.
Yes. Jan, Jan, make the motion.
I'm here. I can hear you.
Make the motion. Jan?
I can't hear enough. You have to tell me. The motion I'm making is to have it now to be June 5th.
No. What?
Oh my God.
I couldn't hear what
To
they
put
were
the
saying.
election off until, hello, Jan? Jan?
I can't hear anybody.
Jan, do you hear
Jan,
now?
you hear me?
No, hardly at all. I hear you always. You have to tell me what they're saying. I hear you, David.
Peterman, you have to tell her.
Okay, basically,
Off for a year or what?
putting it off for a year, that's the motion, to put off the elections to next year.
I thought I made that motion already.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Put it off because of all the reasons
Yes.
we gave already.
Yes, yes. Next.
I thought that's what we were doing too.
Yes, yes, we're doing that. Next.
We've already voted on that, I thought.
No, we're here to approve or disapprove these text changes.
Okay, so this is a vote to approve the text change.
I just read the second one. It's basically, it's about
Voting on this,
time aside in the June meeting for candidates to address the board. And
couldn't hear you, Marty.
the changes with the exception of June 2020.
Okay, so that's the same thing, actually.
That's the one he's talking about.
Yes.
No, this is the one he's saying is still the first one. We're putting the election off until
The same.
one of 20.
These all five of these are related to that. We have to vote for each part of
And we
that.
vote and agree. And we agree to that. We agree to that.
Back the election off June 2020.
Who put the motion?
June 21.
Yes,
I
that's what we're
motion.
saying.
Make a motion. Let's
That's
vote.
the motion.
Second it. Let's go.
Everybody voting. I vote.
Yes, 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 I vote. Yes.
Got my vote already.
She's saying, Jan, you got mine already. Next.
3. Marty.
No.
Marty's a no. Steve.
No,
Steve's a no. 2 no's, 3 yes. Motion passed. One.
All the others essentially implemented that first one.
Well, let's hear them.
well, what about the one I just read? We still haven't voted on that.
We just did.
We just
That's not what-
did.
We
No, you
just
didn't. You said you voted on moving elections till next year.
Peanut butter.
But the
The
text,
one you just read.
no, it wasn't. It said it's
Now
about, it's addressing the board.
Let's do the vote. Jan, Julie, let's do the vote. Again on this one.
Second, Steve, give us the other one.
You didn't vote on this one yet.
We voted on the one that moved the election to next year. Let's go.
No, you voted, there's nothing here about that. This is about addressing,
Listen, Jan, do me, Julie,
Okay, I'm done. I'm ready to leave.
you should vote on the text.
vote on the text. Vote on the text. Steve
I read it
Steve read the
already.
Steve read the
The
text.
text, we voted on it.
Okay, let's do it again, please. Steve doesn't feel that we didn't. So say, Julie, let's move because there are another 3 text amendments.
And I got another meeting at 6 o'clock.
Okay, let's go. Let's vote on the second one.
What's the second one you say? We voted on what you said.
The text.
That was what we was voting on.
About the candidates.
Please.
Yeah.
There's a text.
Recommendation
There's a-
that we moved not having a vote for this month of
No.
2020 to move it until next year. Now you're saying that's not what we voted on, and that's what we voted on.
No, he voted. But he read the text amendment, the language of the text amendment for that. He wants, Steve feels we should have a vote on that.
Okay, so yes.
Yes, okay.
Yes.
No,
Ready?
No.
No.
Jan?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
all right. Ready for proposed number 3?
Did you vote, Steve?
Yeah, I said no.
Okay, so it's the same vote.
Yes,
voting either way.
okay. We still wants to do correct.
Ready?
We want to be reflected, it should be reflected as it should be. Next.
Reflected as it is, as stated. Thank you, Marie.
Could you please give Goldstein's vote? Is he still on?
What did Goldstein say?
Who's Goldstein?
Who's Goldstein?
Marie, I can't hear you.
Yeah, I cannot see if he's in the room, but I don't have a vote for Goldstein.
I don't see him.
Okay, so then it's X. Okay.
Goldstein.
Little guy.
Can you move? You want to go off, yes?
Are you ready for number 4?
Yeah.
Or it's change number 3. It's section C4. The notice of the regular June meeting, this is the new text, with the exception of June 2020, old text shall contain, in addition to the date, time, and place of the meetings, a list of offices and nominees for each office to be elected.
Insofar as we approve the change in the date, why is it necessary to make those additional?
I don't understand that either. I'm not comprehending that either, Marty. Why do we have to make the other changes right now when we already voted to set it aside until next year? So we're not having an election. So why are we going through all these lists?
Because
I agree,
technically, we're still,
So you just want us to take a vote on the fact that we're going to wait and hold this off? Is that what your motion is?
I haven't made a motion. I'm just saying, we have text here, we should vote on it. We proposed 5 changes.
And I don't understand why we're voting on someone's text when this has already been sent to the executive board. And it came back to us.
The chair, and she just sent it to us.
It went to the executive board, the chair just make a suggestion.
Mhm.
The chair made the suggestion on her own. Doesn't she confer with the executive board?
No,
English, they said no.
no, this goes to the committee has to make a recommendation that goes to the full board.
Okay,
That's what you're voting on.
exactly. But we already made the recommendation of taking the vote back until June 2021. So you want us to vote individually on each item?
You have each item that has to have a vote.
Okay, well, let's go number 4. The notice of the regular June meeting shall contain, in addition to the date, time, and place of the meeting, a list. We can vote on that because it's not happening until next year.
Well, the new text,
Can somebody make a motion, please?
with the exception of June 2020, that's the new text.
Okay. A
Someone
motion.
make a motion.
Motion to approve.
Who is the first?
Jan,
Yes, approved.
Jan approves. Sonia?
Yes.
Yes. Julie?
Yes.
Yeah, yes. Eve,
Nope.
okay, 4 yes, 1 no.
What the Needleman?
5.
He said yes.
Okay, you ready for the next one?
Yep.
Yes.
There's actually 6 changes, sorry.
Oh, geez, I'm gonna shoot. No.
All right, here we go. Number 7, the Elections Committee shall prepare the official ballot for the use at the June meeting, the new text, with the exception of June 2020, old text, that ballots should not be distributed prior to the June meeting. Name shall appear on the ballot in alphabetical order by office.
In order to be, what did you say, number 6?
Let's change number 5 section, but it's section 7.
The election committee shall prepare the official ballot for use at
The June meeting, new text is with the exception of June.
exactly to June 2021. I couldn't hear what you said, Marty.
I so move.
Okay. Anybody want to second he's moving?
Yes, yes, yes. David
All in
needs a
favor?
Jan?
Aye.
2, 3, Jan,
Go slow, I need to record the vote.
She said yes.
3,
Who said yes?
Sonia.
Marty.
Yes.
She wanted to know
Next.
who made the suggestion.
I put peanut butter in your phone. It's gone.
Good.
So there's a vote, was a vote on
Come
that.
again, Rob. Yeah, I think so.
Trina, we can hear you.
Oh, I can finally hear her. Where's she at?
Did you take the vote?
Okay.
Did.
I didn't vote. You didn't ask for my
I
vote.
need 4.
Yes. Julie,
Take over there.
you didn't ask for Steve's vote.
Go ahead, Steve.
That would be no.
Okay, so you got 1, 2, 3,
Wait,
4, 5 yes, 1 no.
Next.
All right, this is section 9, number 9 under C. Terms of all officers elected at the board's election meeting shall commence on July 1st of the year and expire on June 30th of the following year. And the new text, with the exception of year 2020, when the executive committee and attendance committee members are retained until June elections held in 2021.
Motion.
Somebody make a motion.
Make a motion, Sonia.
Sonia and Marty. Jan,
Jan? Yeah, she said yes.
Rabbi,
Second.
Julia, yes. Marty,
Yes.
Steve,
No,
Sonia,
Yes.
5 yes, 1 no. We got any more?
that's it for that proposal.
Our old chair used to say, new business, monkey business.
New business, monkey business.
You remember that? Okay. Do you free us?
Well, now, so,
Agree and disagree. We have any other business?
yeah, the other proposal,
Which is the other one?
the one Trina submitted that was forwarded to our committee.
I don't have none of that in front of me. I can't go into my tablet without making
But read it.
I have it. Trina, you want to read it?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how this can work because you've already just voted on Jan's proposal without considering my proposal.
Well, we were doing them one at a time, Trina, so we're gonna hear your proposal. We're not gonna leave you out.
Well, basically what I proposed was an alternative to what Jan proposed, which allows the board elections to be moved month to month. And
I had a big storm coming and my things may be down in a minute.
Yeah, she's not home. Go ahead, Trina.
what I had recommended was removing the requirement for the paper ballots, allowing month-to-month extensions of the terms of the board members to expanding the vacancy rule to cover all vacancies, not just the term, so that nominations and elections could be held at the next meeting of the board. Basically, what I outlined was a change in the bylaws, which allows the board elections to move forward at the next possible time it could.
Well, we already voted that we were gonna hold it off until 2021. I got what you're saying.
That's why this is sort of a sham, that you didn't even consider my proposal and you already voted on the,
We were going one by one. Your proposal came in after Jan's suggestions.
this is crazy, Julia.
Well,
Not a sham, Trina.
proposal came in after she
Janice,
made her suggestions. We wouldn't have
What order it came in, but
received them.
People are trying
You out at all.
Julie,
You saying what you want. I wasn't trying to leave you out at all.
Jan wants to say something. Jan, speak up.
It's not a sham. We're trying to get the board going and not get caught up. We don't have another whole group of people running for office right now. We have to get our board meeting, which is what I thought you really wanted, Trina, was to get us going. So that's why we're trying to stay out of trying to look at when we hardly have any group of people that are dying to take these positions. The sham.
Can't even get this darn thing to work right.
how you know that? How you know who may want to run and who may not? I mean,
Okay,
how can you make that assumption? You know?
okay.
We can't even get this webpage to work correctly.
Something we're really, we're going to have virtual meetings. We really got to work out the technical things with the phone and
Uh,
all that stuff,
Different web.
Is it illegal to go on Zoom?
No, they don't allow us to use Zoom. We have to use this.
Yeah, that's what the borough president,
And this thing is a bunch of crock. I prefer Zoom. I'm not trying to leave you out. We were trying to do it one by one.
yeah, but that was the point I was making, is that you have to consider them, in conjunction, because they negate each other out.
I'm not trying to leave Trina out, but I'm just stating we had already voted on the first half, so we may need to go ahead and vote on her
You
half
can read my letter when it was forwarded to the committee.
after Jan's.
Did you read it?
Trina still there?
Yeah, hello.
But I don't have it in front of me.
Can she just say why it is that the paper ballot means a lot more than doing it the way we're recommending in this bylaw change?
And let me just say, I think, okay, sorry.
I'm open.
Another meeting, people.
But I mean, it's
Okay. Can I sign off?
Didn't hear what Jan said.
I was saying that I am open to looking at this issue of paper ballot and the bylaw recommendation I made. I just wanted to hear Trina and Steve's rationale so we can look at it. We can't talk now enough to even think through what we should be doing. I don't understand. I don't understand the distinction between why people care about having a paper ballot over our recommending it in the bylaw.
Because the bylaws right now call for
Paper ballot.
remotely. You have to change the bylaws.
Trina, I can agree with you. We need to change the bylaws so the fact that we can have a remote voting. I can't make the motion. Somebody else has to.
Yeah, I can't hear that. Yeah, I can't hear.
No, someone has to,
I talked the other day, Trina.
Okay, I think,
Trina's stating the bylaws need to be changed from paper ballot to us being able to vote remotely. Can y'all hear me, everybody? I'm so loud.
no,
Okay, so that's what she's asking us to discuss, right, Trina?
Yeah, I mean, in order to allow, what we could do is make the extend the term of the executive board month to month so that the board
Yes, that.
place until we have a mechanism in place where we can vote, be it remotely, can have nominations and we can have the voting.
Well, we already did that part. Well, I can agree with you though to change the paper ballot into a remotely vote.
And then we don't have to extend the terms for a year. We can extend the terms until such a time that we're up and running remotely and can go through, have the nominations, and then
How long is that going to take?
we don't know.
Exactly.
But to do it,
We had the debate about keeping the board in place as it is. We've already took that vote too.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Yeah, sure.
I agree with you having the thing changed from paper ballot into remote ballot though.
Board that's lost 2 months already, if not 3 months of its year, and summer is coming. We're in the middle of
Be around to be on no computer or phone.
keep leadership that can be steady. And it was a real problem for its leadership. And we had that would be something else, but I don't know that people have said that there's a problem with the leaders that we have. They have been working pretty hard, and I'm more complaining like you were, Trina, that they weren't meeting, that the board wasn't meeting. I was praised about that. Because I think the board has to meet, or we really look like we're irrelevant. I don't think it matters when we're electing a new board, but it does matter that this board get moving, and you can't get moving if you're going to move into elections instead of moving on to doing the work around coronavirus and the race problems that we're now facing. People are marching every day in McCarran Park, and we're sitting here talking about this stuff. You know, I think we have to get going, and I don't think that having an election right now is the best way to get going.
I can agree with you on that, but I don't think Katrina was complaining. I think she was just
it's
requesting.
democratic, it's the process of the board. It's part of the bylaws. So
Like I said, I don't think Trina was
I don't, anyway, I
that we changed the way that we do the voting.
don't take me personally. Don't take it personally.
Okay,
Sorry, I did.
okay.
Trina, did you want us to vote on that issue?
no, Julia, at this point, it's moot. You've just voted on.
Yeah, I agree it is.
My proposal wasn't even considered when you voted. So
I tried to put it out there,
I know.
but it was just,
Nobody would listen.
stopped on, you know?
did try to
We
put it
took
out
them
there.
one by one, as first as they came. It wasn't that I was trying to, omit you. We just took them one by one.
Can,
That's not really a way to
vote
start
on the
things.
paper ballot.
I missed two things. I don't know what people were saying.
The paper ballot vote.
can I,
we didn't
can I
vote on
sign off? Can I sign off?
No,
No?
not yet.
Okay, I'm sorry.
About paper ballot. What was that, Marie?
You read it off about the paper ballot.
We have another call at 6 something tonight on the
Two.
Heston Street, so I can only do this so long, and I can't hear anything anyway. I'm saying we should get through because until they can help me
Can we address the issue?
get on the thing, it's just awful.
I don't know what she said. Now, Marie, what was you saying?
You need to
She
call
was saying
vote
that she
on
needs
the
to.
paper ballot.
We need to call a vote on the paper ballot. Can somebody go ahead, please?
Why do we need to call a vote on the ballot?
Because it was part of the
It was also referred by the Borough President's office that we need to do anything virtually, we have to take a vote.
Well, just,
we need to change it. We still need to vote whether we want to change it or not.
You just voted to recommend extending for another year, the executive board. You don't need.
We still need to make a suggestion. You already suggested that we change it the voting way. So we need to talk about that and vote on that. Whether we want to change it from paper to virtual. It has to go in.
Sense if you go to month, if you extend the board position month to month, and you've just voted to extend it for a year, Julia.
We still needed to vote on your suggestion. You sent it in. It's part of it. We need to send it to the borough president, whether we decide we're going to make it virtual from now on. That one has nothing to do with the first one. This one is, are we going to continue to do it? Someone please make a motion. I have another meeting.
I make a motion.
And what is the motion? What?
Marty said he makes a motion that we, what?
Continue as is, paper ballots.
Marty makes the motion that we continue with paper ballots.
Second.
I heard a second. Who's that?
1
Sonia.
second. What does that mean, continue? How do we continue if it was extended?
For the future.
Instead of what?
For voting to take place virtually is what they're saying.
Oh, he's saying that we should not do it
The
virtually.
voting virtually for the future of 2021.
That we should not, that we should do it.
Wait a minute, I'm
by
just trying to
paper.
explain in case we're still in a pandemic and we have to meet like this.
So he's saying that we should do it by paper
That's what he's saying.
instead of virtual?
That's what Marty's saying. Marty instead of virtual.
I can go with that. I have no problem.
The motion was to send to the paper ballot.
So Jan is saying yes, and, hello?
I'm willing to give us the bylaws change. I don't mind doing paper ballots.
So you're changing what Trina's asking.
Yes.
You just changed what Trina asked. Trina's asking to do it without paper ballot and to do it remotely.
I get a motion, we just do it.
He's saying no paper ballots.
No. Terini's saying no paper ballot.
Yes,
And Marty's saying paper ballot.
yes.
I think.
And somebody seconded, and you said before, a minute ago, that you have no problem to go with paper ballot? Is this what you
I have
said?
no problem going remotely.
Huh?
So, if there's a strong feeling that people have one, but nobody is sticking to one, and if Marty is saying paper ballot, why is he saying paper ballot? The paper ballot allows you to be secret, right? But
Yes.
Marie heard that
Yes, let me just say, that's an important issue.
and say who voted for who. I mean, that's the only reason a paper ballot or electronic.
He's right.
Electronic, you have to stand there and say, I support
Yeah.
the Alice.
You're right.
And they see who voted for
But
who.
I understand what Trina's saying. We are in this pandemic and we are now doing everything virtually. And what she's saying is
enough that we can let
So,
people.
Trina, am I right?
But I don't care if there's strong
To
feelings
vote
that we
remotely, not do paper ballot. I don't know what the difficulty is.
want you to be more secret.
But
You
Marty
know-
made a motion that we keep it paper ballot. So come on, people.
I agree with that, and it's Jan said something very sensible. What? They heard you. But that's very sensible, but people feel more comfortable when they vote in secret.
They don't vote secret. That's
So,
not true.
so
All
I am,
votes are recorded and made public.
Nobody seconded anything.
somebody second the paper ballot.
Nobody seconded. They're having a discussion.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And nobody understood what you were saying. Then I explained it.
Okay.
Does anybody second the motion?
Wait a minute, 1 minute, Marty. I'm going to repeat what Marie said, which is absolutely true, Jan. We really don't vote in secret. When we vote, we fill out that form and you put your name at the bottom and then we count the votes. It's not in secret.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. She was disconnected. I put her on again. Please do it again, Julie.
When we vote, we do not vote in secret. When you fill out the form, you put your name at the bottom of the form and you pick the people you want to vote for, and at the bottom of the form goes your name. It's not in secret.
However, supposedly nobody sees that. Yeah, beside, that's nobody should see that.
The only one that sees it are the people that are counting the votes.
No, that's not true.
I've been
You, Marie.
on and off for 30 years, and believe me, people wanted to vote on ballot and handed it to the person who counted because they didn't want their friends and neighbors to see they voted for. That's what always was going on. But people don't think that's true anymore. That's fine. I don't care if it's paper or electronic. Is there a strong bylaw committee? How about you, Rabbi Dieter?
I feel it should be by paper. I agree with Marty.
And why does Trina not want paper?
Well, in order to facilitate holding an election electronically, you have to get rid of the paper ballot. My proposal had 3 parts, but which you guys read. It doesn't sound like anyone read. There was that election should be conducted
What you're saying.
by individual, and then this is in the
What is he saying, David? David, what is he
She's saying that it has 3 parts of proposal.
It's hard to hear on this thing too. And I turned the volume up.
I think,
But one issue, let me ask one issue. The
No.
idea of paper versus virtual. Can we take a vote on this one? I second that.
Guys, can you hear me?
What?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I think we have to consider, we're talking about a new norm. If things
Right.
do not go back to normal, that we have to visit the fact that we're going to be having to look at all these virtual stuff. Because in all honesty, we don't even know what the new norm is going to be. And I get what she's saying, but what I want is some kind of resolution. If we're going to do month to month, if we're going to do all these changes, we got to get to some agreeing people. I get what you're saying. It's a new norm now. We don't even know what's going to happen a year from now.
What we're voting on, Sonia,
Something
is
in place.
So it's
trying to get is whether we're going to vote virtually for now on, is making the recommendation, whether we're going to go with that. And Marty put it out there that he votes for paper ballot. So what I'm stating is this: Marty's probably in disagreement, and I think we should vote on Trina's most suggestion.
let me read to you what it was, what the modification that I proposed was. It's to section C, the election section of the bylaws,
Number 7.
5. And what I'm saying is election shall be conducted by individual, and then cross out the word paper. So by individual ballots that are signed or otherwise verified by each voting member. these ballots, those ballots that are not signed or otherwise verified shall not be tabulated. So I took from the bylaws section, and that's how, in order to allow to do away with the paper ballots, that's how we'd have to modify it. That's a way to modify.
And that's what I was just trying to state, is that Marty stated he wanted to stay with paper ballot.
So
And that means not changing the bylaws
Right.
at this time. And let me ask you a
Voting
question.
down what I'm proposing.
but isn't there like a compromise? If things don't get back to normal, we're going to have to revisit this virtual thing anyway.
Okay,
Can we
Do
just
we
not
have
say,
to-
you know what? Is there
do
either
we-
or? Is there a possibility of amending it to include all these other things that could happen in the future?
Yes, Sonia.
If things do not get back to normal, we don't do month to month, we're gonna do a year. We still have to revisit things. Can they just put in there as a safety net to say, hey, in the event this should happen and we're not able to do it the paper
That
way,
we would
can
have the choice of voting virtually.
right? Can we just do something like that?
That's what I was looking for. Thank you, Sonia.
Okay.
I think that's fine.
We do this?
Yeah,
okay.
Trina, you got it?
yes, I agree with
What
that.
y'all do with Trina?
That's Jan. That's Jan. She's asking Trina. You have to pay me. You have to pay me for keeping you here and being your servant.
Check two.
No,
Somebody
they have-
make a motion of what Sonia stated, which will also include what Trina is stating.
So I'll withdraw my motion.
Okay, now make another one. Thank you for withdrawing your motion, because I knew you didn't understand.
Wow. You're sharp today.
Okay, listen, I can't make the motions, people.
I make the motion that we should put some language there to include that.
Sonia made the motion.
So Sonia made the motion.
That we include the language of voting virtually alongside of paper ballots, just in case we go back and we don't go back. We'll have
I don't know
options.
what the new norm is gonna be.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that. Somebody made a motion, somebody seconded.
Yeah, I
Second.
Jan seconded.
All right, Sonia made the motion, Jan second. Marty,
I'm against.
Marty's a no.
Against? Okay.
Steve,
Abstain.
abstaining, Steve.
Marty said no.
Why?
Why?
Doesn't matter, can you just
It
go?
doesn't matter. If he abstains, he abstains. Sonia,
All right.
Yes.
Rabbi,
Yes.
Jan. Jan,
Dan said yes.
Yes, I already said yes.
I say yes.
That's a yes.
We have one no, one abstentions, and 1, 2, 4 yes.
Okay.
Okay. Are we free?
Done, Steve, we got more.
Now,
Two other parts to my proposal.
I'm listening.
Okay, the next modification is also to section C of the bylaws, number 9. And it's the terms of all officers elected at the board's election meeting shall commence on July 1st of that year and expire on June 30th of the following year. That's what's
We
written.
voted on that.
What I'm adding is, however, and this is different from what Janet proposed. However, in the event that elections cannot be held according to the schedule outlined in the bylaws, and in order to provide continuity, board officer and attendance committee terms.
Can't hear you. You're breaking up really bad.
Steve, do you have it? Maybe you can read it, because your connection
Right.
might be.
All right, yeah, section C9. The terms of all officers elected at the board's election meeting shall commence on July 1st of that year and expire on June 30th of the following year. And the new text is, however, in the event that elections cannot be held according to the schedule outlined in the bylaws, and in order to provide continuity, board officer and attendance committee terms may be extended month to month until elections can be held.
So this is different from extending it a full year. It's extending it until the elections can.
That says the attendance committee.
But we already voted on that, everybody.
That we already voted on that section, and yours say attendance
For
committee.
this meeting, what I had wasn't even considered. You voted on Jan's without considering mine.
So, what are you saying, Janice?
Did vote on that already. I got it written down here.
I said
We-
voting month to month would be a pretty disruptive process to do. And we already voted on my resolution. I know we did,
Yes.
and it passed. So we
Oh.
can't
The
repeat it.
letter came in first.
Okay. I agree.
And can we decide, like, since we're doing all this in haste because of all this craziness going on, can we decide to moving forward to get something implemented to like an action plan for the future? Can we just
Right.
compromise and say, you know what? Because this year we already decided on something, we have to revisit the idea of looking at like moving forward if something happens that we can just have that in place for safeguard again? And can we compromise? If we say, okay, we agree to extend it for the time being,
No, you're
because
right.
we missed the election, whatever, we missed the nominations, can we just agree to say, you know what? In the event anything like this should ever happen again, these are gonna be our policy and procedures in the bylaws.
So that's, but, I'm sorry.
And
And
you just change the bylaws at that time. That's the nice thing about bylaws. They're like little, you can change them.
but do we have to do that now? I mean, I do.
No.
What?
Any
lose
proposals or
people.
changes have to be written up and submitted to the chair of the
If he
board.
goes, Jan goes.
I can't hear
I
anything.
am going also.
And he holds me.
We have the committee meeting is on the 9th. Today's the 4th. No meeting tomorrow.
Okay. I have to.
And Rabbi has to go.
I have to go. I have another conference call.
Make a
Sorry
motion
for
to
that.
close the meeting?
We'll
I'm sorry.
people. No, not yet.
What?
I asked if you were going to make a motion to
I
close
don't
the
hear you.
meeting.
No, we're not making a motion to close the meeting. Rabbi's leaving and Jan's leaving. We still have 4 people.
Please. So
I'm here yet.
okay. A motion to close the meeting, please.
Finish.
What?
Rabbi, you can go.
I can go. Fine.
Yes, bye.
Bye. I'm sorry for that. I was also saying bye.
Okay. Bye, Jan.
Bye.
I have a 6 o'clock. I got 5 minutes, people. Now, where were we? Trina, you still there?
I'm here, Julia.
Okay, now.
You know,
So I make a motion for the, no, actually, I'm not gonna, who needs to make a motion?
Hey, where everybody go?
I'm here.
I'm here.
Okay, Steve? I got you.
Yeah, I make a motion on what I just read, section C, part 9,
And what's the motion?
to approve the proposed text change to that amendment.
That we're just gonna change the text. Anybody, Marty, you in favor?
No, read the text. Read the change.
Read it again.
Change again.
The terms of all officers elected at the board's election meeting shall commence on July 1st of that year, expire on June 30th of the following year. However, in the event that elections cannot be held according to the schedule outlined in the bylaws and in order to provide continuity, board officer and attendance committee terms may be extended month to month until elections can be held.
But see, that's where the confusion comes in, because we already voted that we were extending it to the 21st.
And it's still gonna be part of the bylaws anyway, moving forward, no, Marty?
It's okay. You leave it that way.
Marty says leave it the way it is.
I second the motion.
What's
Okay, in favor?
what's the motion?
Your motion.
Who made the motion? Marty made the
The
motion.
motion, he's saying to disapprove the text. Is that what your motion is, Marty?
No, to approve the text.
To approve the text.
Text as I wrote, okay.
Yes,
And it would be as is, which would mean, let me get this clarified. We're gonna change the text, but we still already made the motion that we're not even having elections until 2021.
right, yes, but we're
Got
still
you.
gonna
Where-
change it in the
We're
avoid,
including the process and changing the text. Got it. Go ahead, Marty. You said yes?
Yes.
Marty made the motion, Marie. Iglesias seconded. Marty's voting yes. Steve?
Yes.
wow, thank you. See?
When can Julia vote? I vote yes. What was the third part?
Okay, you ready for the last one?
Yes, because I gotta go.
All right, special elections in the event of what's crossed out interim vacancy, to just be a vacancy, a special election would be called with nominations, and then a special election be held at the next available meeting of the full board following nominations.
Yeah, I make a motion.
Make a motion what?
I second the motion to adopt.
Make the motion, yes, to have that.
Oh, wait a minute. So you just want to take out in the event of an interim vacancy?
Interim, it basically say an event of a vacancy.
Okay.
So what are you putting there?
It'll just,
To me,
instead
that
of
you just
saying
take out-
interim, it'll just say a vacancy.
A vacancy.
Yeah,
One vacancy?
that covers our bases.
Any vacancy, say a vacancy. Something
Well, it
vacant.
says in, okay, I got you.
Okay.
All right, so
Motion to approve that?
Marty,
I so move.
anybody second it?
Marty seconded.
Marty, I'm sorry, Marty, I didn't hear you. Marty seconded. Steve,
Yes.
Sonia,
Yes.
Marty,
Yes.
who am I missing? Oh, me. Yeah, I can get with that.
I can't.
Are we done? Because I got another meeting.
Yeah,
You
I
don't
think
have
so.
enough votes.
You know what?
Not right now, no, because I'm not available in July. And I'm cutting out soon. I'm out of state, and I'm not gonna be holding no daggone meeting.
So when is it, September?
Anyhow, so I'm here real soon.
Are we finished? We got any more?
That's it.
Okay.
Excuse me, but
Somebody make the motion to close this meeting?
No, Sonia,
Motion.
hello?
Yeah.
Julia?
Yes, Marie,
What were you vote on the last item?
to change the word from
Who voted?
term.
It was section C10.
Who voted?
We all did.
No, you did not.
Steve, you made the
Marty
motion.
made a motion.
No, I made the motion. Marty seconded it.
Motion. Steve.
Did you hear us, Marie?
You don't
Let's
have a
go.
quorum. You don't have a quorum if you didn't hold the vote.
We have 4 people.
Who for?
Julia, Marty, Inglesia, and Steve.
Okay.
Marie?
Close your meeting.
Oh. Somebody gonna make a motion to close this meeting.
I make a motion to close.
So move.
Second.
Okay, it's been second.
Okay.
Right.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for your hard work.
Bye, guys. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Stay safe.
Woo!
Okay. Bye-bye.
See y'all in September.
Bye.
Now I gotta go to the other meeting. How do I get out of here? Come on now.